From our studios in New York, here again is Stone Phillips.
This season will probably go into the record books as the worst in 30 years for wildfires. Normally, forest and brush fires burn about 2 million acres a year. Already this year, 4 million have burned, and the season isn't over. This is the picture today, fires burning across the western United States, touched off by man or nature and fueled by tinder dry conditions. And nowhere is that picture more terrifying than in Northern California, where this week a firestorm put a group of firefighters and residents dangerously close to disaster. Here's Keith Morrison with a Dateline survivor story.
For 14 days it has been burning, an insatiable thing sucking life from the dried timber of Northern California. It is one of the biggest in the West, the 82,000-acre fork fire in the wooded ridges and ravines of California's Mendocino National Forest. It's driven by scorching 105-degree days, humidity so low the dust billows up and coats your teeth and cracking lips, and by wind, gusts of 70 miles an hour, driving the flames east and south, closer and closer to the villages that line Clear Lake.
Back over here. Okay,
day after day, as the blaze spreads out of control, firefighters pour into the little community of Upper Lake from all over the country. Hundreds of engine companies, helicopters, air tankers, bulldozers, 4,000 strong.
Yeah, there's 24 pieces of equipment coming down in a convoy.
Among them, one will stand out, a firefighter named Chris Paulus.
I want you to give your strike team leaders, if you haven't already.
3 strike forces from the Bay Area, skilled in fighting structure fires, are assigned to defend homes in a remote canyon right in the path of the fire, a place called Bartlett Springs. It's a place they'll never forget.
Conditions, the way they were, it never even lost a beat. It just started rolling down the hill.
These fire teams usually confront house fires in tamer suburban areas.
But we're not used to wildland fires like this. Yeah, we're from the Bay Area. We get grasslands and very little brush or timber.
Bartlett Springs is nothing like that. Here, the modest wooden cottages are strung out along the creek for miles, hidden beneath the tangle of pines and oaks and manzanita, an ideal place for the fire to feed.
We had to get the fuel loads away from the houses, set up safety zones for ourselves, and hope for the best.
Luckily, the man in charge down on the canyon floor has a lifetime of wildfire experience.
That was probably the worst part of it, was not being able to see, not being able to breathe.
Chris Paulus grew up battling the flames that blacken the California range in these hot, dry seasons. The son of a firefighter, Chris is drawn to the excitement, the danger, the service of firefighting.
Okay, if you're down Valley Floor, I need to know your location.
Saving lives comes first, and this day he has 90 lives, firefighters and residents, in his hands.
Defend yourself, defend your company, defend the civilians with you, and we'll talk to one another when it's all over.
And one other thing, a precious bit of history, Bartlett Springs itself, a turn-of-the-century resort where the elite once braved steep, primitive roads to take the waters. An old lodge and an elaborate gazebo erected over the tile baths are all that remain. A gazebo with a wood shake roof.
Its chances of burning were great, and what we're really worried about is the radiant heat from the fire going by the gazebo.
Saturday, August 17th. The firefighters are in place all day. They go over their plan. They foam the safety zones around houses, identify the 2 escape routes, but mostly they wait. Wait for the monster they know is headed their way.
You didn't see it, but you could sure hear it.
Like you're sitting on top of a jet engine, just, it was almost deafening, the sound.
Chris Paulus positions himself atop a commanding knoll and watches. The radio crackles, darkness falls. Now he knows air support will be impossible.
It was too dangerous for them to fly in here due to the lightness of night, the shadows on the ground. They could not see us.
Then the fire mounts the ridge. It had been aglow. Now it becomes an inferno. It's moving faster than anyone expected.
From both sides, as far as you see, it was just a wall of fire, 300 feet coming into the valley floor. Being drawn by the fire to our east, simultaneously pulling this fire down into us here. So what we have is fire closing in on these 2 directions.
Just below Paulus, Jim Clark's engine company from Marin County is posted next to the lodge and gazebo.
When it hit the South Ridge, we estimated maybe 1,000 feet of fire growth per minute. And it ran the South Ridge in like 12 minutes. It was from here and it was beyond our view.
This fire, it's what's called a running crown fire. It just started up in the crowns of the trees and literally was moving faster than any man could run. The fire was heating up the trees in front of it, vaporizing those, and then the flames would move across that and explode that into fire. It was unbelievable.
You can't explain the feeling that you get when you see those, and especially knowing that it's coming down on you.
Suddenly, from his vantage point on the knoll, Chris Paulus sees there is no way out.
There's no way of anticipating losing our escape route 4 miles to our east and 4 miles to our west and then being surrounded by a wall of fire. In my 17 years of experience, I've never seen anything like that. I don't ever care to see anything like that again. I never saw so much fire converge at one point ever.
A mile or so up Bartlett Flat from the gazebo, 17 residents are huddled at the home of Alice Abruzzini. Her son-in-law, Marlon Flannery, is helping the firefighters pump water from the creek when the fire roars down the hillside toward their doorstep. David Bazayoff from the Pinole City Strike Force knows what he has to do.
Well, what we did with the citizens is place them inside the house, phone the house. My concerns were panic, and they stayed together.
Outside the house, the firestorm rages. Those inside cannot see the devastation that's about to overtake the fire crews.
Back on this point here, the first time in my life I've ever seen a gas ball.
Incredible. That wind changed just like that, 180 degrees.
That's where the fire was so intense that it couldn't burn, so the fuel vapors just came up and made it basically a gas explosion.
Marlon Flannery does not panic, but fights a growing despair.
I thought at one point, after about 45 minutes here of fire everywhere, that we were going to die. In fact, I quit what I was doing and went inside to be with my wife until our things don't look good. I think we're all going down here.
16 other people were inside, and it was so smoky. You know, they had towels, wet towels over their face to keep the smoke from taking them down.
Faster, faster!
About 2 miles back up Bartlett Flat, 16-year-old Amy Ford is hauling fuel for her dad's bulldozer.
We're having some definite trouble. Definite trouble.
When the firestorm hits, she grabs her video camera and rolls.
The house is on fire!
Cinders would fly out of trees and start little grass fires, and had to throw the camera down and run around with a shovel once in a while.
Oh, I gotta get out.
The images she captures are etched in the memory of every firefighter there.
We were the last ones to get hit, and hearing everybody else down the line getting hit first. It's here, it's here. And then the next guy's, oh, it's here now, it's here now. And then it kind of builds the suspense as it's coming at you.
Driven by this explosive power, the fire consumes 40,000 acres in 6 hours. Everyone knows this is something that happens once in a lifetime. They might survive, and they might not.
God, it's hot.
The fireball is so intense, so huge, it's almost impossible to measure, releasing 100 times the energy of a single forest fire, an explosion in the realm of atomic. For about a minute in the middle, the furious wind, the sound, the heat are a vortex from hell.
To avoid being drawn into hell, every person in that valley must look the devil in the eye and not blink. The only hope is to set a series of backfires to deny the raging front the fuel it needs. But they must be lit in a specific order to create a convective wind that will suck the oxygen upward and turn the force of flame back on itself. It's a precise and perilous choreography.
Had one person thought about their safety first and struck a fusee or a drip torch and set fire to protect their place first, that would ruin the whole works. And to have the discipline to hold tight and wait for that order to come, that speaks of the quality of people I had.
In less than 3 hours, the head of the firestorm passes.
Usually time slows down those events, but this time it's just accelerated and compressed itself. It felt like 15 minutes. The whole process felt like 15 minutes.
Okay, well, we sure thank you for everything.
You bet.
Yeah.
No one is hurt. No homes are lost. The Abruzzinis post their gratitude. The 100-year-old gazebo is saved.
There's a good one right there, a clear one.
Now the pictures are worth 1,000 words.
Look at that one. Cool. Not that it was cool.
Nothing cool about it.
All the guys were great. The guys that were out there, the firefighters from Contra Costa and Lake County, they were all great people. Great people. They knew their job and they did it.
Before they head for home, the men from the 3 strike forces who saved Bartlett Springs get together to view Amy Ford's video. As the flames leap again on the tiny screen, they watch solemnly and try to recapture the feeling. It's not the same, they assure me. But when you look closely, you can glimpse just the beginning of tears in their eyes.
There was a lot of praying going on out here. Definitely tell you there was a lot of praying going on. I was probably leading the whole group.
The Fork fire is still burning. Officials say firefighters will remain on the scene, putting out hotspots for weeks to come. And they're certain of one thing: this fire was caused by people.